Hi, it's Julie Wolfe, Senior Market Development Manager with McGraw-Hill Education. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Rob. I'm really excited to talk with everyone today about what market development is here at McGraw-Hill Education. We like to think of it as turning non-users into users over time through engagement activities. Wikipedia also has a definition of market development around being a growth strategy for identifying and developing new markets and turning non-buying customers into targeted segments. And we agree with that. And our goal is to turn our non-users into users. But the key thing is over time, because what we do takes more time than what you get to do in the field. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what that process is and what that looks like. So here's an overview of the market development process. And so I think of it as there are really two big areas that we focus on in market development. One is around new product development. So you heard Lynn talk about the new Master 2.0 products, which are very exciting, and all of the exciting things that are coming in 2020. Those new products are heavily market developed by the market development team. We work through the ideation to prototyping to validation to QA and then into pilots to make sure that the product is really meeting what the market wants. And then, and the other funnel, you see, we work on existing products. And this is where you may have interacted with us more, you and the sales force. And so our goal is to engage your customers, create a spark of interest for them, a catalyst that helps them then contemplate about our products and then finally move into a decision. If you notice on the slide here, it says there's a market qualified lead and then a big star that says you. Our goal is to give you, the sales force, a market qualified lead. That means we have engaged your customer in some kind of activity, helped warm them up, introduce them to our products, and plant a seed that you then continue to water and grow. So I wanted to share with you some examples of the types of engagement activities that market development managers do. There are 4 columns here, 4 buckets. The first is market research. And there is a lot of work that we do that you'll never see in terms of market research. So market segmentation and analysis and really figuring out the needs of the markets that we serve. The second big bucket is reviews. So you've likely had an instructor engaged in some kind of review, whether it was a one-on-one live interview or some kind of on-demand content review. So we work on a lot of different reviews, and we partner with our product developers and with our portfolio managers on the types of reviews that we do. The third area are events, and so we are very engaged with our marketing team on focus groups at conferences, at regional events, national symposia. We also do virtual focus groups, student focus groups, and so there's a lot that we do that are events related. And then finally, this is probably what you see most from us because it's where we engage the most one-on-one with your customers, and these are experiences and interactions. So reverse class tests and things like peer reviews with DFCs and board of advisors. These are all experiences and interactions that help move your customer forward on that customer journey. And I made a note here that these activities are determined by the teams with whom we work. And so unfortunately, this is not a menu from which you can order, because believe me, when I was a rep, I would have wanted to order all of this for all of my big targets. But know that there is a strategy behind what we're doing, and we work with our portfolio managers to determine where we will spend our time. So next, I wanted to introduce you to some of the faces behind the names of the people that you've probably worked with in market development. And the first group are the BEC market development managers. That's me in the middle. But there's Andrea Shive, who is phenomenal. You've probably worked with her on principles of marketing, student success, or intro to business, and she's working on our master program. And also Sarah Thomas, who works on principles of econ, principles of management, and B-stats. Switching over to our SEM, market development managers, we have Cherie Pye with developmental math and non-STEM math, so a lot of Alex action there. And then Debbie McFarland, her partner in math, in collegiate math and elementary statistics. Moving into the sciences, we have Beth Betcher, formerly known as Tyson, in non-majors bio, majors bio, and Gen Chem. And then Chrissy Relihan, who is phenomenal in anatomy and physiology and non-majors microbiology. And I want to say that everyone is phenomenal. In shifting into our last group, our HSSL market development managers, we have Jamie La Ferreira, who focuses on public speaking and introductory Spanish, and then Susie Flores, who focuses on introductory psychology. And what you're probably thinking now is, Julie, I'm not going to remember everyone's name and how to spell it and who covers what, and we know. So we have developed a lead form. And so this is a way for you to reach out and get in touch with us, the market development team, and your marketing manager team, for when you have a hot lead in a discipline area and you want to reach out and get some activity from us, if you want some kind of engagement from us. And again, as I mentioned, it's not a menu. You can't order specific activities, but we will strategize with you and figure out what we can do and share with you what's already been done with your customers. This is something you can book on your smartphone. Many of you have told me this is how you engage. There's a screenshot. You just, there to the right on the slide, you just enter the information. And know that I made a point of calling these hot leads for a reason, and that's because we are working on your big targets, your big takeaway targets. We're already engaged with those targets. We're tracking them, we're engaging. We want this for when you want to share something with us that maybe isn't obvious in Salesforce, or some way to sort of engage us in your product team in another way. So I want to ask a question for the chat, so get ready to chat. Who here, and go ahead and chat it in, can name the report in Salesforce that shows customer engagement that's happened as it relates to market development and marketing? Go ahead and chat that in now. Great. Okay. You are correct. It is the customer engagement report. You no longer have to remember a name or a number beyond customer engagement report. This tracks all of the market development activity that's happened for you at accounts, with individuals, and at opportunities. So if you look on the left, that shows the reports in Salesforce.com. That's what the view looks like in Salesforce. So again, go into Salesforce, hit your report tab, type customer engagement, and this is going to pop up, and you can see everything that's happened in your territory. And then the other screenshot is within Artemis. So you can look at an individual in Artemis and see what he or she has done. If you see in that red, it says Market Dev Activities, and you can click on that and it'll show you what your professor has done. So I wanted to talk with you now about 2 new tools to help you close business in Q4. And I know this is a 2020 session, but we want to help you close business in Q4 as well. So there are 2 things that the market development team has put together for you to use that is for any professor, any title, any discipline. So the first is a rapid review survey. This is generic for all titles, and you can use it with any professor. And the second is a student survey, generic for all students. You can use with any student, whether they're using our product or not. And so I wanted to dig in a little bit on the rapid review survey. So this is a URL that you will give the professor. So I'm going to walk you through the process. You give your professor this URL, and then you copy over a turnkey course to their Connect account for the title that you've been chatting about, because they say to you, hey, I'd like to dig in more, but I'd like to review, I'd like to dig in. Great. Here's the way you can do it officially. You give them this URL and a copy of the course in their Connect account. They then open the survey, they're asked a few questions, they're asked to work through the course on one chapter for the title that you've chosen. And then we collect the feedback, we collect all of the data, we'll share it with you, and then you can go share that with your professor. and talk with your professor about it. And your professor is entered into a sweepstakes for $1,000, which will close December 19th of this year. So $1,000 sweepstakes for this fall semester. If you look on the screen, you can see it says McGraw-Hill Rapid Review. That's what it looks like if you take it. You can go in and click on that link and take it yourself just to see what it looks like. And then I wanted to expand a little bit more on the student survey that's generic for all students. And so this spring, your market development team worked with over 350 students who took this survey this spring. And so, again, this is how it works very simply. You give them this URL, we'll collect the student responses, we'll share those results with you, and then you can go share them with the professor. And the questions are they're generic, but they ask about their study habits, what kind of platform they're using, what they're comfortable with. And it's a way to move the conversation forward with your professor when your professor says, well, I don't know if my students would like X, Y, or Z. We now can give them the student feedback that they want. And if you want to customize it, let me know, and we can customize it for specific adoptions. So that wraps up my portion of today's session on market development. And I just wanted to, again, thank everyone for their time. Thank you for everything that you're doing around market development in your own territories. And know that you have a strong partnership with us. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.